Hey guys, what up? I'm just gonna give a quick rundown of the current deck that I'm using for the Duelist Cup. I got to level 20, and this is also usable in ranking if you want to go ahead and rank with it. And it's a bit of an update to the Labrynth deck, and yeah, I just want to kind of talk about it, some changes I made for during test playing and um, playing for the format as of right now through Arise Heart being in the format, Pearly's also being in the format, all that jazz. So these are just some of the cards I thought I want to try out and play, and I've done pretty well with the deck. Um, yeah, like I said, I got to level 20 already. I'm still in Diamond 1 right now. Last season I got to Diamond or Master 5 and I kind of stopped, but let's talk about the deck real quick and then we'll jump into how the deck has been doing through all the test playing that I've been playing through, I guess. Well, not really test playing, but you get what I mean. Anyways, so for the deck, we still playing one clue clock because I've only like one clue clock. You can bump this to two. It's up to personal preference. A new card I'm trying out. This wasn't in my deck before. I was playing like Lava Golem or something else. And what this card essentially just does for the deck is it allows us to out Nowhere and out an Arise Heart if we open up with it, I suppose, or we draw into it with like Max C or something like that. That's the only purpose it really serves. It's just out those two boss monsters because they are a little hard to out if you're going second as a trap deck. Because the Rise Heart can blow up your trap, Pearly can spin your trap cards, etc., etc. So Curry Carnet or Lava Golem, or if you're playing Gamma Seal, whatever your choice of tributing removal is. I think you should at least play maybe one or a few cards just to be able to out those particular cards. So you can play like even Book of Moon is not bad. But obviously Book of Moon doesn't work against Pearly nor because it's an activated effect where Curry Kara is a summoning condition, so it does work against Nowhere. So I'm trying this out, just the one copy right now. Maybe bump it up to two in the future, but for now, for this format, since those are the two main decks I'm playing against, and occasional lab here and there, the lab matchup hasn't been bad. Like I've been winning against most of the mirror matches, I would say. But the cash matchup has been a little rough sometimes. It just kind of depends if they open up really well, or if you know when to interact with their monsters and things like that, or you kind of have to predict when a Rise Heart's coming out or Shangri-La is coming out. And that's the thing about Divine Incarnate, like it takes care of those kind of problematic monsters, takes care of Shangri-La, takes care of like Fenrir, and you can bring back their Fenrir at the end of the turn, etc. It's kind of a nice nice way to deal with that. Although you do have to make it so that they do use the effects, which most of the time most cash players will just, you know, the first chance they get, they'll Fenrir you, they'll Unicore you, so it's not like difficult to proc the Karikara. But yeah, it's just the one of right now. We'll see in the future, and you can also ironically summon out Linkish Anima with it if you wanted to, but we'll talk about that in a second. Triple Maxi, obviously, triple Stovey, triple Ash Blossom, and then triple Chandelier. Not much to really talk about. Double Fenrir is still pretty decent, and then that closes out at least most of the engines here. You got obviously the two ladies and the one lovely. I'm doing one Nibiru. I was trying out two Nibirus and like even three Nibirus at one point, just because cash players like it really depends. Some players will play around Nibiru. They'll stop on 4. They'll go like 3 monsters into a Rise Heart and they'll stop. Same with Pearlies. Like Pearly will like occasionally stop, or they won't go into Nowhere if they can't have 5 materials on it. So like Nibiru has been kind of a mixed bag for me. Like sometimes it's really good, sometimes it's like it's just dead in hand. Like it doesn't do what it's supposed to do. It doesn't out the Rise Heart. It doesn't out the Nowhere, and that's why I decided to just try out one Nibiru. Occasionally you'll catch someone that's being greedy, but like if I want to go second, or if I do go second, I think Carnet is better than Nibiru, but I still like the Nibiru occasionally for like random matchups, because there's still a lot of matchups where like Math Mechs and other decks that just link climb, and Nibiru still really does really well against those particular decks. But the Exceeds decks, they're a little more careful sometimes, so that's why I'm going to play one Nibiru here. Double pot, and then one Prosperity. It's been pretty decent every time I used it. Namely just dig for, like, I guess, usually Ariana or Fenrir, honestly. That's the only card I really dig for, because it's just more consistent, right? I just want to make the deck a little bit more consistent, so that's what the pot is there for. Because we did lose Extravagance, so I'm just kind of replacing that third Extravagance with the Prosperity, and it's working okay. Sometimes I just go for 3 if my hand's already pretty good enough. I'll just banish 3 rather than 6. But if I'm like in deep shit, or like I'm like really falling behind, or whatnot, then I'll just dig for 6 and just see what I can get. Obviously, if you open both of these in your hand, it's kind of bad, but most of the time you just open one of them and it's good enough. You can obviously play Call by the Graves. I haven't really liked Call by the Graves. I tried it multiple times in this deck. Yes, it feels nice to be able to Call by the Graves when someone ashes your welcome, but at the same time, like, that's the only time you ever really use Call by the Grave for the most part, because Max C you can sort of ignore. There's a few times where Max C is a little annoying, but most of the time you can play around the Max C. During this format, a lot of people shotgun Maxi. Like during your standby phase, they'll activate Maxi, and I just, alright, I'll summon Ariana or set a bunch of trap and pass turn, and they just lose out on the Maxi. So, Call by Graves is effectively against Ashe, but whatever. Like I just don't really care enough to play, because sometimes it breaks your hand, and yeah, it's personal preference, right? If you really worry about Ash Blossom, then play it. But I just decided not to bother trying to play against Ash Blossom. The one Epidemic Eradicator is still okay. I still don't really like the card in my main deck per se. Sometimes it's just dead, and sometimes you activate it, you look at their hand, it's all monsters or all traps, etc. And it's just like it's got a very high ceiling for a card, right? But it's very risky to play, because it will brick you sometimes, because you really don't want to draw it. You really want to just search it off with Lady when you can and when you need it. Yeah, it has its ups and downs, but it's kind of nice that it does interact with the back row, where this deck has a hard time doing so. One barrier, pretty good against Cash, good against Pearlies. You might even want to bump it up to 2. There is a risk with playing 2 of them, because if you play this against like a Labrynth deck, then you're screwed, right? So that's why I'm only playing 1 of it. Like if I need it, I'll search it out. If not, I'm just using it as food to feel the lady. But yeah, triple Imperm, just good overall hand trap here. Double Welcome, and then one Terror is still pretty decent against Cash. If you use it correctly, you can kind of shut them off for the turn. You can get rid of Shangri-La. You can get rid of the planets, just things like that, right? So it's a decent card. The room mechanic is pretty good. I really liked it. I gotten rid of like 1 Pearly Nor with it before, but other than that, it's namely just a Book Moon all of the Fenrir stuff or Kashira stuff, and just make them really awkward. You just have to kind of know when to use it. Sometimes I've shotgunned this card, and I've lost the match because of it. So it rewards you more if you just kind of wait for them to commit more cards to the board, then use it. So yeah, it just takes a bit of a practice using this card. The triple Welcome here, and then obviously with the 1 Skill Drain. Skill Drain is still really good against Cash. Do be careful though, like they can still OTK you if you're not very careful. But with Skill Drain, the grind game, you just win, because they just don't do anything. Anyways, for the extra deck, pretty generic. You got triple Chaos Angel. You don't really need this guy, never summon him, but he's just there just in case. He's usually just food for Prosperity, if anything. Same thing with Wave King and the Deus Ex Machina, both just kind of food for Prosperity Extravagance. But occasionally I have summoned out Deuce against Cash, and it just wins against them because you steal all their monsters, and it's just kind of funny. Never summoned out Denkyusu, just food for pot. Same thing with Zeus, just food for pot. Relinquish Arma, I've summoned out a few times using Clue Clock, so it has its place. You know, people don't play around with Relinquish Arma, they don't respect it, so sometimes you steal a good monster and you're like, alright, cool. Charmer, still really good. I still really like at least 1 copy of him in the extra. Then triple mud cracker because sometimes you banish a bunch of them. Black Luster Soldier, I haven't really bought him out all that much, but when I do bring him out, it's usually a good card to close out the game. Or if you just have a bunch of free bodies on the board, like you have a bunch of Tovies and you have like a Clue Clock, and then maybe you have a Fenrir on the board or something like that you don't need anymore, then you go into Black Luster Soldier, and he kind of is nice that semi-boss monster, I guess. And then the one Underworld Goddess, never really bring her out either. But yeah, so overall, that's the deck I'm playing right now. Let me show you my win rates and stuff. I'm doing pretty well in the cup, like my games game wise. So let me show you my game cups first, or match history here. So yeah, I basically won virtually majority of my games here, as you can kind of see. In a couple of turns, people just scoop it up. So that's what I like about playing Labrynth. It's a really easy deck to figure out whether you're winning in the first like 3 turns. Where like something like Cash, it takes a couple more turns to grind out or play against. But yeah, so that's my win rate for Duelist Cup, and I've already maxed it out. And then for rank, it's a little bit more difficult. I haven't really played too much rank, a little bit of rank here and there, but it's been kind of like almost a 50-50. I had a huge win streak here up until Diamond 1. Diamond 1's where I'm a little struggling a little bit. But yeah, last season I went to Masters 2. I didn't really post any videos last season because I was kind of just busy and I was just playing here and there. So unfortunately, sorry guys, I didn't really get to post any commentary of last season. This season I'm Diamond 1, and I've been mostly playing the Duelist Cup, so I haven't really been ranking all that much either. And yeah, you can kind of see my other ranks there, more or less. But yeah, anyways, hopefully that helps you guys with your deck if you're playing Labrynth. Still my favorite deck on Master Duel, and at least for the foreseeable future, because I'm also playing it in real life, so it's kind of nice to be able to practice on Master Duel. And also play in real life. Let me show you this deck. It's the same exactly thing. Yes, same thing. So, but yeah, fun deck. If you guys have any questions or comments, just post them below, and I'll get to them as best as I can. Peace out, guys.